everyone, my name is Mandilynn. I'm the author of the young adult novel Essence and historical fantasy novel I Am Mercy, and today we're going to be talking about which is better, fiction or nonfiction. For today's purposes, we're only going to be talking about the writing version, because the reading version of fiction and nonfiction is very different from, the writing version. So we're going to talk about nonfiction first. When I think of nonfiction, I think of it as a very kind of rigid structure. Everything has to be fact-checked. You can kind of bend things sometimes, but the overall context has to be like 100% true. When I think of this, I think of journalism. I personally am not a fan of journalism at all. I'm not a huge fan of reading it. I'm not a huge fan of writing it. I just find it kind of boring. I want to say that that's going to change for me over the course of my lifetime, because I do a lot of journalism for my job right now. Not like hardcore journalism, but little news updates that I have to write up every day for work. But I like to make stuff up, and writing fact all the time gets really boring to me. But also for nonfiction is the genre of writing memoirs. Memoirs have a special place in my heart. But like I said, we're going to talk about writing today. So writing memoirs is kind of a hefty task. Once again, you want it to be mostly true. You know, people for memoirs, they change names and events a little bit to protect privacy, but overall, a memoir is supposed to be like 99% true. That makes it a very deep and personal thing. In memoir, it's the story of the person who wrote it. It's not like a biography you wrote about someone else. You have to be a very comfortable person with your past in order to write a memoir. I have no plans to write a memoir. I just got too much baggage, which I guess would make a good memoir, but I don't like the idea of people knowing about my past. That's just no go. But fiction is great because you can make anything up at all. You can just go with the flow. What you say goes. I can say dinosaurs are alive and they're like the maids to my house. That just makes sense in a fiction novel. It just does. It's great because you can be as creative as you want. The possibilities are kind of endless. But for some people, that may be the problem. If you don't have a super creative brain, or if you do have that journalistic brain, writing fiction can be kind of hard. Because you have to make everything up, and you also have to back it up. Because if you don't back up your writing, it just doesn't make sense. You have to build an entire world, whereas nonfiction, the world already exists. The person reading the book already is familiar with the world. You don't have to explain basic things that you would have to explain in a fiction novel, especially in science fiction. When you write a science fiction novel, you make up everything. So you have to explain how all things in that world work. And of course, for fiction, you have to plot novels. For nonfiction, there is plotting involved, but you don't have to make up an entire world. You just kind of have to organize your thoughts in nonfiction, whereas fiction, you have to organize your thoughts and also make sure that the story is like cohesive and makes sense. To be said, that basically means I prefer fiction over nonfiction when it comes to writing, even though I write nonfiction for my job. And if you're wondering what my job is, I'm going to be talking about it in next week's video. Anyways, let me know if you prefer writing fiction or nonfiction. Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.